it wasn't the cool kids that read comics in those days. It was
Yeah,
like
your mom would throw them away too.
it was yeah, but I mean, yeah, the people, the main comic book audience in those days. How did they describe it in the 70s? Um, There's white male teenagers between the ages of 13 and 19 that didn't fit in at school. You know, couldn't make the team, didn't have any girlfriends, and immersed themselves in comic books, and you know, it was the real dweebs that read comic books in those days. And like today, it's the cool kids. If you're one of the cool kids, you fucking read comic books, you know? Not in those days. And so the thing is, in those days, I would go to the comic book conventions, and I'd meet the other people the other people that wrote and drew comics. And, you know, I just looked some of them up this weekend. This weekend, I went on Facebook, and I opened a Facebook account, which I've never had. And I looked up all of these comic book people from the 70s, and oh my God, they look awful. Dear Lord Jesus, these guys are total. You know, these guys. There's no possibility any of these guys are having any fun at all, looking like that. You know, these guys look like they've been dead for 20 years. I mean, no, and a lot of them are. A lot of the people that I worked with in the 70s are now dead. It's just, you know, now I understand why they hated me so much. Because, you know, I would be having fun. I would be having fun long after they were either, you know, bedridden, as most of them, or dead, as, you know, the others. So it's like, oh God, I've never seen such a pathetic bunch as the 1970s comic book pros. Oh God, you know, I pity them.
Have you ever been married?
No.
No.
Had a girlfriend?
Yeah. Zillions, 1 zillion girlfriends. What, comrade? We going to ask?
You say you never married.
Ah, yeah, right. Right on. Yeah. Oh yeah, and like, you know, I don't have to get married. I mean, like, you know, unless I like married a group of women, you know, I could do that like overseas or something like that. I guess you could do it in like, yeah, you know, it's like it's like in India or something like that. If I were like Hindu and all that, I could marry like a group of women. You know, I guess Muslims could too, but
that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
I married the whole tribe.
Marry the whole tribe. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you get a lot of younger women coming up to you?
Yeah. You know, it's like I do like date a lot of like, you know, girls in their 20s and like college girls and all that, because they like they know I like totally like them, you know, and you know, plus it's like hard for them sometimes, because like if they're like taking me out someplace and all that, it's not just anyone in the general public that knows that I'm you know, a celebrity and all that. So it's like, you know, it's like hard for them. It's like, for sure, because people will give them like weird looks and all that, you know. But like, I don't know how, you know, to what extent that's going to change. Is that, you know, now the irony of it is that there are, like, in every crowd of people, there's like maybe 2 or 3 that know who I am. If it's a large crowd, you know. But keep in mind, there really is a dichotomy to this situation. You know, on the one hand, I really am a world-famous celebrity. You know, there's a Wikipedia page about me. I'm in some 90s editions of Who's Who in America. I've got all the comics I published in the 70s. I had a minimum print run of like 100,000 each, plus foreign translations. So that every time I go in, Creepy, Eerie, Vampirella, House of Mystery, Red Circle Sorcery, any of them, you know, figure probably a minimum of 100,000 copies goes out in the United States and Canada, plus God knows how many going out in however many languages they translated into and left my name on it, even though I didn't do the translation, you know. You've got like French, I see them turn up on the net. You've got French and German and Portuguese and Italian and Spanish and I don't know how many other languages like that that my comics have been translated into. Now you add to that the articles about me that have been published in World Health Magazine from Geneva, from the UN World Health Organization in Geneva, October 1983 and January, February 1986 issues. There's articles about me in both of them, and they're in every language in the world. And those are only two of the internet. So the thing is that there's people that have read my name all over the world, and there's people that have followed my work all over the world. But when I'm walking around in rags, or if I'm walking back from the free mail in rags, you know, like, it's not just anyone that's going to know that.
At one time, were you pretty wealthy?
No. Well, you know, I mean, I was a homeowner, and I made what money I could make from writing comic books and other things, and usually having a job on the side. But I mean, it hardly adds up to wealthy. What it adds up to is being able to make ends meet, you know. And as far as the comic book publishers that I worked for, I was certainly underpaid. You know, I understand there's a far better arrangement today than there was in the 70s when I worked. You know, a far better arrangement, but in terms of payment and you know. But see, the thing is that it's like some people talk about royalties and things like that when my stuff is reprinted. Well, but I'm more concerned that my reputation is out there again, you know, than I am about, you know, complaining about them reprinting my work without paying me.
Hey man, was you hit by the car on purpose or accident?
I wouldn't say, I wouldn't actually make a statement on that publicly. I mean, how I feel privately, and given the way that I was treated before and after, you know, obviously I'm going to have my suspicions, but, you know, unfortunately that whole issue is over now also. And but I mean, yeah, of course I had been threatened, and of course it was suspicious when there was such a political effort underway to see to it that I not have legal representation or medical treatment or housing. You know, I mean, I'm stumbling around in the damn street, you know, seriously injured and hardly able to talk or walk. And the social workers are doing what they think is their job and working to see that I don't have legal representation because I'm on some kind of enemies list, you know. Yeah, I know what all that sounds like, but, you know, one of the things that I changed after I got hit by the car is that I don't keep pushing anymore with the JFK stuff. I'll talk about my comics. I'll talk about the band, and but no, I don't want to. I don't want to go because it's nobody does care anyway. I mean, to hell with it. I mean,
you actually wrote a comic book series about it, didn't you?
But, the comic in Archie Comic Actor Comics Presents. That's one JFK story. Yeah. The Conjurella series of JFK stories were all text stories, but I took one and made it into a comic, and that's in this at the library and at the lab both.
Is there anything else you'd like to say?
No, we did it.
Okay, signing off. This is Casey Brennan, live from Ann Arbor, Michigan.